Hello and welcome to Tea is Good, Books Are Better, the podcast where we drink tea and talk about books. I'm Raven.
And I'm Jess.
What's happening?
I can tell you my dream last night.
Okay.
Remember how I told you how I hate my dreams because they're super freaking weird
Mm-hmm.
in a bad way?
Mm-hmm.
So I think because I've been watching Game of Thrones and because of my new Sims mod, I got this really pervy dream. This incredibly vivid dream of an orgy between Brienne of Tarth, Tyrion Lannister, and Podrick Payne. It was very vivid.
I do it.
It was very weird.
I do that. I join in that orgy.
Yeah, just for Podrick.
His magic monster cock. Probably mostly for Brienne.
Oh, really?
Oh, hell yeah,
Like, you'd be
Brienne.
all like shy and timid.
Huh?
I see her being all shy and timid.
Well, I probably would be too, so. Shy and timid together. We'll just all get really smashed. Tyrion will bring the booze.
Yep. And the jokes.
And the jokes. He'll make it a good time.
He would.
Alright, well, that's fascinating.
That was my weird ass freaking dream. When I woke up, I was convinced that it was fact. Like it was something that happened.
Oh, like in the show?
Yeah, like it was really. I'm like, God, that was thinking about which episode that is, and I'm like, wait.
My dream was a lot less interesting.
No, what did you dream about?
I dreamt that I was at work and customers just were not following the CDC guidelines that we had set up, and it was very stressful. Yep. It's like, guys, I have to deal with this shit at work, and then I have to go home and deal with it in my sleep.
Yeah. Fuck that.
That shit's fucked. Like, you know you're stressed when you start dreaming about work.
Mm-hmm.
I've probably said that before, but I really believe it.
I do too.
Yep.
When I worked service, I would always have dreams of work, and I would hate those dreams. They'd be the worst ones.
Yeah, I feel like whenever I get a new job, there's new stresses, obviously, and like new challenges. So then I'll like dream about those when I'm like new to a job.
Mm-hmm.
But once I start to get comfortable with it, those dreams might go away. If I have like a really shitty interaction with a customer, then I might have like a dream, but those are they're pretty rare to be like that bad or be something that I haven't dealt with before. But this like when we first started rolling out like when we first reopened and had the new guidelines, I think I might have had like one dream about it, which was just like it was probably me like failing to do things properly. It wasn't a customer thing in my dream. Yeah. So that was like the stress I had then. But then no dreams for a while because, you know, I got used to it and it was just going well. But as I said in some of the more recent episodes, people have been getting really like lax about following the guidelines, and that's becoming a stress for me now.
Yeah.
So that's probably why I'm dreaming about it again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get it.
Yep, I'm over COVID. I'm over it. Have you seen the Jumanji movie with The Rock and Jack Black and Kevin Hart?
I saw the first one.
You didn't see the second one?
No.
Okay, I just watched the second one last night.
Oh.
It was pretty good. It's so, I don't know what to expect from like sequels, because it was pretty much exactly what I would have expected, because it like had a lot of the same old jokes from the first one, some new jokes, but like nothing too risky or different.
Oh.
But at this, sorry?
Was it very similar to the first one.
It was similar for sure, yeah. But then I ask myself, like, this is what people want from a sequel, though, right? They want,
Mm,
like,
it sells.
yeah, but that's why they go see a sequel to something instead of seeing something new. It's because it's, like, the same thing, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, we also want something different, right?
This is something Johnny is so passionate about. Like, he loves movies and he hates sequels like this that are just a revamping of the first one. He's like, he thinks it's destroying the film industry and destroying originality because the big corporations won't accept new things.
Oh,
He's like,
yeah.
you want to keep recycling the newer shit.
Oh, yeah. I don't disagree with that at all.
That's why Hollywood is stagnant while like streaming services are starting to boom.
Right, right, right. That makes sense.
He's very passionate about that.
Yeah.
Not something I thought of ever.
Yeah, just like, what do we actually want from a sequel was what I ended up asking myself when I walked away
I
from that
want
movie.
a continuation of the story. If the story ends in the first one, why are we doing a second one?
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was basically just like, it was basically the first one. But like, just a slightly different environment kind of thing.
Oh, were they in the desert this time?
There was a desert, yeah. There was
Oh.
also snowy mountains.
Ah. They had to really sell it this time.
Yeah. And there's like some fun new elements, but it's mostly the same. It's the same thing.
Basically 2.0.
Yeah. But I enjoyed it.
Sure.
I didn't hate it.
Sure.
But then I'm repeating myself, but I feel weird because I'm like, what do I want? Because I also just wasn't like mind blown, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the first one blew my mind because it was hilarious and I loved it, and Jack Black is a teenage girl.
I
It's
thought it
amazing.
was alright.
Oh, fuck off.
Eh.
What?
The biggest comedy film buff because usually like it's not my sense of humor.
But the smolder.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Jack
Like,
Black as a
he-
teen girl.
But if it's just him carrying the film,
Who?
Jack Black.
It wasn't
He's
just
like-
him.
Like I know they're all funny, but meh. It was alright.
But Kevin Hart gets killed by cake. I actually there was one part in the second where in the game his character gets offered cake and he's just like, no, no, no. And it was pretty funny. It was just like a short little joke to call back to the first one, but it was hilarious.
Did you see the first one recently?
Yeah, I did watch it again recently.
Oh, because I was like, how the hell do you remember all this shit? I haven't seen the first one since it was in theaters.
Oh, you don't remember him getting killed by cake?
It sounds familiar.
Yeah, he ate some cake and blew up. You don't remember seeing, because they have the little thing where they like touch their heart and then their like stats come up or whatever, their strengths and weaknesses. And one of his was cake. His weaknesses were like strength, endurance, and cake. Anyway, we've probably said some similar stuff before about the film industry, but basically everything these days is a remake or a sequel.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like connected to the same universe as something that already exists.
I saw somewhere someone saying instead of making like all these remakes of good films, do remakes of the bad films that were terrible. Make them better.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'd love to see a remake of?
Uh,
Do you remember that movie In Time?
no.
It had Justin Timberlake and it came out in 2011. It had Justin Timberlake and Amanda Seyfried. Basically, the premise of it is so interesting and so cool, but the actual execution of it was hot garbage.
I remember this. I didn't see it, but I remember you not liking it.
Mm-hmm.
Like you telling me the exact thing.
Yeah.
That the idea was nice, but the story was shit.
So the idea of this one is that people stop aging after the age of 25, and from then on they need to buy time to live. So they like time is their currency.
Hmm.
They like pay with years to like get food, and they get paid in years from their jobs, and it's like a really cool idea.
Yeah. I'm looking at the pictures and none of these actors are 25. 25-year-olds look like babies.
Oh, okay. I feel like I look the exact same as I did at 25 right now. And I don't think I look like a baby.
You do.
Uh, excuse me? All right.
That's
Um,
pretty interesting.
yeah.
I like those kind of futuristic, weird, scary future kind of stories.
I don't remember what exactly happens in the story because it was so forgettable and so shitty. So, yeah, I got like a 37% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yikes.
Hmm.
It was bad, but the premise is so cool that I'd love to see like a good writer attempt it,
Yeah.
you know?
Hmm.
So I like that idea about remaking bad movies.
I like it too.
Anyway, shall we get into it?
We shall. Shall?
Shall.
Or shall?
Faux shall. All right.
Mhm.
What are we drinking today, Jess?
Finishing off my tea, and I just finished off a nude.
Hmm. I am still drinking water.
Very nice. Hydrate.
That's the goal. Where did we leave off our characters, Jess?
After finding out about Brandon Rickon's death, Kat visits Jamie in the dungeons and interrogates him. Asha tells Theon to abandon Winterfell and join her, but he refuses. He starts to regret staying, and Reek heads out, claiming that he will bring back about 100 or so men. The war between King's Landing and Stannis has started, and Sansa prays to her friends and family before heading to Maegor's Holdfast, where she waits with the other highborn ladies with Sir Ilan Payne lingering in the background.
Nice.
Very nice.
Chapter 58. Yeah, so this is the chapter that I mentioned at the end of the last episode, that this is the most epic and well written action chapter in a book that I have ever read in my life.
Is it really?
Yes.
Damn.
Yep. It gave me all the feels that watching an epic action scene in a movie gives me.
You know, right after I read this chapter, I went and watched the episode and was vastly disappointed.
Oh.
This chapter is great.
Yeah.
The episode,
Not so much.
and it just made it so much smaller.
Oh.
I'll go over after.
Okay.
So Stanish's ships are sailing down. I think it's called the Rush, which is the river. No, it's not called the Rush. Is the Rush the opening between the sea and the river that heads down to the Mudgate, which is
It's Blackwater Rush.
okay. So the full name is Blackwater Rush. Okay.
Yeah, and that is like the little opening that leads into the...
River. Name the river that heads to the. Yeah, I only have Blackwater. Okay, so yeah.
Oh, Blackwater Rush is the river that leads to King's Landing.
Okay.
That comes out of like Blackwater Bay.
Oh. That's cute. The river is called the Rush. Okay, I get it. So they're sailing down there. There's a description that I liked of the Oar Master's drum sounding like the beating of a great slow heart.
Ooh. Boom. Boom. Boom.
Yeah, very nice.
Very nice.
So, Sir Envy.
Sir Envy?
Emery.
Emery.
I got my. It looked like a V, but it's not. Sir Emery is the admiral of this battle. Davos doesn't like his battle plan. Davos had suggested sending a couple of swift ships ahead just to like take a peek of what's going on before, but Sir Emery was like, no. I feel like he totally felt like they didn't have enough ships. They're not gonna be a fight.
Like, he didn't think that the
He didn't-
Lannisters would
he just
have
didn't-
ships?
I feel like they wouldn't have anywhere near as much ships as him. Like he felt like he's very offensive.
Defensive, you mean?
No, like offense.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, he's very confident in their ships, in their army.
But that's so dumb to not take a look at what's coming.
That's what I think.
What the fuck?
Okay. Davos also thinks
one-
that it's foolish to bring the battle, to have the battle in the river, and that they should have drawn them out onto the sea.
I was gonna say, I thought that they were supposed to be, like, in the bay, not in the actual river.
Yeah, but they're going down the freaking. Sir Emery thought it'd be a better idea to bring them into the river.
How does that make sense?
Right? Davos also feels like Sir Emery didn't even want to consider his idea because of his low birth.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Sir Emery had organized the fleet into 10 lines of 20 ships each. And the first 2 lines were to go in first to destroy Joffrey's ships.
How fucking
And
wide
then-
is this river that they can have 10 ships side by side going down this river?
I imagined it as like not exactly in line, but like right. I can't even.
Oh no, they're definitely supposed to be in line.
describe. Are they? Damn, that's a big freaking river. Then
I'm like,
they have
hang on. I need to find where it says
I
that
wanna
they're in
get-
the river.
because they're right at the Mudgate when this battle happens. That's why they're in the river.
Where does it say that they're in the river? Because the first thing it says is that Blackwater Bay is rough and choppy. I think they're heading to the river, and that's the plan to go in there.
Yeah,
But they're not there. Huh?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
They're going to. There's a. They're going to sail down.
but we're starting off in the bay.
Okay. They got their oars out so they can go into the river.
Nice and quiet, like. Okay, go on.
So the first 2 lines are going to go in to destroy Joffrey's ships, and the others would land archers and spearmen who would then fight from land. And then the slowest ships are going to pick up the army that had been there for like days before or weeks before, that had been camping, and then bring them across to the shore as well.
Okay.
Okay, so like they're going down the river. I didn't really do much.
They're not in the river!
Where are they? They have entered the river. Where are you?
I'm just trying to find the part where they go in the river.
Sure, it said they were in the river.
Okay, I'm on page 823 now, and they're still not in the river. It says, they would be sweeping in on the flood tide, but the Lannisters would have the river current to their favor, and the Blackwater rush flowed strong and swift where it met the sea. The first shock would inevitably favor the foe. So they haven't made it there yet. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm still reading because I'm pretty sure they're in the river.
They're not in the river. Because if you flip to page 825,
Because then how I imagined it doesn't make any sense. Like any of this battle doesn't make any sense to me if they're not in the river.
well, on page 825, the bottom of the first paragraphs there, it says, the mouth of the river was open. So he's seeing the mouth of the river. He's still not there yet. And the squat towers are right at the mouth of the Blackwater Rush. You know, the towers that hold the chain?
Mm-hmm.
So they do get in, and eventually, it sounds like. Because when they pass those...
So when it opens up to the mouth of the rush from the bay, it says across the river the south shore was black with men. So like, I can't imagine that. I don't understand it.
Wait,
the
where?
river
Which
just
page?
823 at the bottom. Like,
This is across the river from the Red Keep.
but they still haven't entered the river. So I don't understand how you can see the Red Keep already.
How would you not see the Red Keep?
Well, not the Red Keep, but all the people at the Mud's Gate.
They're not at the Mud Gate. They're just on the other side of the river from the Red Keep. It's at the mouth of the Rush. Does that make sense?
I'm looking at a map just to like try to see what the fuck.
So they're on the south shore of the river. Those people. Right at the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the river from King's Landing.
Okay.
So,
okay.
because on page 826...
Yeah, now I see that the river goes alongside King's Landing. It doesn't lead to it. I thought the river led to it, so I was confused.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Mhm.
And even more evidence on page 826. The river that had seemed so narrow from a distance now stretched wide as a sea. So that's when they're like just entering. The next paragraph after that, the first line was in the river now.
Where are the chain towers?
They're
At
right
the
at the
top.
mouth of the river.
Okay, 'cause- ah! I didn't get any of this. Okay, I'll try to describe it now.
But apparently the river is wide enough that it can hold all of these ships side by side, which is insane.
Described as wide as the sea. Like, woo. Yeah, these are warships. So they're big.
Yeah, they're chunky.
So, what was I saying? I have to backtrack big time.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're in the bay. King's Landing in the mouth of the river or the rush in the distance, and little men in the distance shaking their fists. I guess.
Shaking their fists.
And then they stir and they see the ships and you can hear the shouts.
Shaking their fists. I'm just gonna picture that the whole time.
So, like, I just learned that the Blackwater Rush runs along the side of King's Landing, and I guess the Mud Gate is along one of the side. Is along that side.
I don't know where the Mudgate is. I'll be real. We can figure it out when it finally comes up.
Okay. So as they get close to the mouth, which is described as wide as the sea, apparently, according to Raven, which I guess definitely fits 10 rows
10 ships side by side.
of 20 ships.
10 row. Wait. Is it 10 rows of 20 ships side by side?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's 20 ships side by
Yep.
side
There's
going
10,
in.
no, 10 lines of 20, so it's 10 rows, 10 ships with
What?
20 ships. There's 10 lines of ships consisting of 20 ships.
So each row has 20 ships.
Yeah.
That
10.
is it 10 or is it 20?
10.
Why are you
10?
saying 20?
10 ships of 20.
What?
10 lines of 20.
Yeah, so you're saying 20 ships in a line.
Yeah. But it's still 10 across.
How is it 20 ships in a line if it's 10 across?
10 across, 20 down.
So it's 20 rows of 10.
No, it's 10 rows of 20.
No, you're saying it backwards.
10 lines of 20 ships.
I see. You're thinking of it vertically, and I'm thinking of it horizontally.
That doesn't make sense to think of it going in 20 if it's 10 lines.
What? Where are we confused here?
I don't know where you're confused.
Okay, do you have the part open in the book?
Emery organizes the fleet into 10 lines, 20 ships each.
10 lines of battle, each of 20 ships.
Yeah.
So it's 20 ships side by side.
It seems to me like it's 10 ships side by side, each leading 20.
I see. So that would make more sense to me that it's just 10 ships side by side. But where I find it confusing, where it says... Because he says there's 10 lines of 20 ships. And then at one point Davos is like, keep line. And he's talking about the ships that are next to him.
Is he?
Yeah. On the top of page 823. But then it talks about the ships that are in the line in the next paragraph after that, and it doesn't sound like more than 10.
It doesn't really describe what they are, just all these names.
Well, it says to starboard. To starboard of Allard's Lady Maria were the 3 galleys that Stannis had seized from the unfortunate Lord Sunglass. So starboard would be to the side. Next to
Really?
it. Yeah.
I have no idea what the heck that meant. I just skipped it.
Yeah, one is port and one is starboard. Those are the 2 different sides of this ship.
Oh.
Let me look it up.
Oh.
Yeah, starboard is the right side of the ship.
So these ships are 20 ships across, 10 down?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Wait.
Ships.
823, the 3rd paragraph. In any encounter on the open sea, their battle lines would envelop the enemy fleet on both flanks, driving them inward to destruction. On the river, though, the numbers and weight of Sir Imry's ships would count for less. They could not dress more than 20 ships abreast, lest they risk tangling their oars and colliding with each other. So there is 20 ships in a line.
There is.
That's fucking insane!
This is a big freaking river.
What the fuck? So it is 10 rows of 20 ships. Wow. I'm shook.
Yeah.
Alright, now we get it.
Yeah.
That took way too long.
Uh, so Tapo notices a difference at the mouth. 2 newly built small towers
Ooh.
on either side.
Yes, there's 2 new towers that are set up, and Davos is all like, what are those?
Yeah, like he notices that they're new, and he's like,
Hello?
Hi.
What the
I'm
fuck
reading what
happened?
I wrote down.
Oh my
I
god.
was trying to explain it, and then I was like, I should read what I wrote down first.
He's pretty familiar with, like, this part of the river / sea, so he sees these new towers, and he's like, what are these doing here? And he's kind of sketched out.
So he sees these 2 towers, and he notices that they're connected by a chain. And he's like wondering what it's for if it's not being used to keep them out. And it's like suspicious. He's sus that it's a trap.
Yeah. Oh, the Rona got me.
So there are archers on the walls that are shooting fire arrows at them. They're hitting some ships, some people die, and he's like, oh, first one dead. One of the fire arrows gets close enough to the towers that he gets a good look at the chain, and he sees that it's huge.
So finally, we find out the chain that Tyrion was working on.
Tyrion's huge chain.
His massive chain.
Mm-hmm. One of their ships lands to deposit some archers and spearmen, but they're quickly slaughtered by defenders, and Davos recognizes the Hound amongst them.
Oh shit.
As they get closer, he sees 3 giant trebuchets behind the mud gate. Ooh.
The 3 whores.
Joffrey's battleships come into view, and they collide, and battle starts. Like, they have like ramming pokers. What do you call that?
Ramming pokers.
Like at the front of the ship, the thing that's meant to ram into other ships, and like they're doing that shit.
Yeah.
Ramming into each other. It's all pirate.
It's very cool.
When they get close, they jump in each other's ships and battle. It's all like, ah. The trebuchets start flinging hundreds of stones that are about the size of heads, and Davos describes them as turning men into bone and pulp and gristle.
Jesus. I guess they're flinging a bunch of them at once, kind of thing.
Yeah, because these are giant trebuchets, and if the rocks are like the stones are like the size of heads, there's a lot of them in bucket.
And it doesn't the flinger. It doesn't sound like it would be that destructive, but trebuchets, they use like a whipping type of motion,
Yeah.
so they like fling that shit hard.
I guess they're pounding like giant holes into the ships as well.
Mm-hmm.
Davos sees that their first line of people who have landed are already at the wall with like grappling hooks and iron rams. there's like a battle on the beach as well as in the rush.
Mm.
He sees two Lannister ships on either side of one of theirs, so he gives the order or the command to ram their ship. And his son, who is commanding the ship beside him, does the same. So they head for the same ship and freaking destroy it because it's two ships hitting one.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. It was a
Yeah.
dope moment. Them both like, oh, dude. And when they're like, battle speed, and then the drums start going,
Yeah.
dude.
So all different speeds for the drum that like gets the rowers going.
Yeah, but it's just so cool picturing these drums like going, and then the oars just going like, and then the thing just like coming closer, and the ram of the ship just like, and then both of the ships going at the same time. It's pretty dope. And then completely annihilating this other ship.
Yeah, it's broken in half, I'm pretty sure.
They destroyed it.
Davos recognizes, I'm not quite sure where he saw it because there's too much chaos going on, but he recognizes wildfire on one of the ships, and he sees it, like, it gets eaten rapidly by this fire.
Ooh.
So he's like shouting the order to get the fuck out of there and then backtrack the boat or the ship. And he gives the shout of wildfire. Sir Emery had anticipated wildfire usage, but because there's only a few pyromancers left, he didn't think they were going to have much, so he didn't think it was a big deal. So that's like their knowledge of the wildfire.
Yeah.
He sees like all these like great wooden barges, like basically all these confiscated ships that Tyrion took. Like, I don't know how to describe them. It's just a bunch of ships that aren't warships coming towards them.
Okay.
And he immediately starts thinking, like, this is a trap. A Lannister ship tries to ram him, but he sees it and is able to move the ship sideways to the other side so that when it hits, it only grazes the side.
That was pretty cool, too. It reminds me a lot of, like, the ship action in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, yeah.
Because those moments in those movies are really cool, too.
Mm-hmm.
Them just, like, spinning the ships around, like, super crazy. And
yeah. It's just,
dope.
It seems so chaotic to try to control ships during a battle like this.
Right?
I cannot imagine.
Yeah. I feel like they would all just, like, get all locked up together in a big mass.
Yeah. That's what it really seems like to me. This whole thing sounds like chaos.
Yeah.
Davos notices that the ship that has caught wildfire is setting other ships on fire, and they're also getting eaten pretty fast.
Ooh, yikes.
One of their big ramming ships enters the scene, and it still has its sails up, which was a no-no. Like, they were supposed to...
Yeah, they're supposed to take them down before they ever entered the river.
Yeah.
So and this one's called, like, the Sea something? Seaborn or something like that?
The names.
Dude, I thought the names were so cool.
I couldn't keep track of them.
Let's see. Oh, swordfish.
It's swordfish? That makes sense. Because it's a giant ramming ship and its poker thingy is the shape of a sword.
Swordfish. Yeah, so silly swordfish never took down their sail. Dumb fucks. Who's on that boat?
The sails are catching fire from the fire arrows that are being shot at them. And he sees that it's heading towards a giant Lannister ship, not a warship, one of the barges.
Ooh.
Davos looks at this ship. He sees that it's leaking wildfire, like big time.
Oh, fuck.
Oozing like blood. He tries to scream at them.
At swordfish.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yup. Yeah, he's like, imagines that his voice, he couldn't even hear himself. It was like, there's too much going on. They collide.
So swordfish rams this barge full of wildfire.
And it's also boom. But Davos hears a soft whoosh or woof, and then a roar, and then he's blasted off his ship.
Like
a bomb.
Yeah.
He hits the water, struggles because he's spinning all up in there, or all down in there. And then he like emerges and he grabs the first piece of debris that he could. And as he turns to look, like there's a huge like, how do they describe it? It's like
A raging green inferno.
yeah, like a cylinder like hitting right up into the sky, and it's taking all of the ships with it.
Even the Lannister ships.
Yep.
It doesn't give a fuck who it's eating.
Joffrey's ships are burning up as well. Like they're all burning.
I think that there was a
Oh.
typo
Yeah?
on page 833. The last paragraph. Queen Alisan and Lady of Silk, still locked together, were a raging green inferno.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I was like, is that supposed to be raging?
Probably.
Because it says a raging green inferno, and I have no idea what that would mean.
Oh. Oh, you know so.
Also, drifting downriver and dragging pieces of Lady's Shame, one of the Mirish galleys had slammed into them and was now afire as well. Cat was taking on men from the fast-sinking Courageous, but Cat is a ship, and it should be italicized. But it's not.
Oh, even more. It was too exciting for the editor of this chapter.
Yeah, they're like, damn! They couldn't even edit it properly.
Right.
But it's like two things in one paragraph?
So this atomic bomb has went off, right? And
Yep.
all of these other ships, these barges that had all come, they're all also filled with wildfire, and they're each blowing up after one after the other. So this is like freaking nuclear bomb.
Maybe not a
It's
nuclear
like,
bomb, but
you know,
sure.
they're just wiping out everything.
Yeah.
He thinks of his sons. He's like, "Oh my god, my sons!" But he can't do nothing about it because the current has got him now, and it's whirling him around and dragging him away, and then whirling him around and dragging him away. And as he nears the mouth, he sees that the chain is up, and dozens of burning ships have already crashed into it.
Oh, shit.
And there's like a little part where he's like, "I'm in hell." Like, if this is what did he say? What did he say?
It was like the wildfire had turned the mouth of the river into the mouth of hell.
Oh yeah, the mouth of the Blackwater Rush had turned into the mouth of hell, and that's how it ends.
Yeah, so Tyrion's chain boom was not to keep them out of the river. It was to trap them in the river.
And let them all burn. Take them all out.
Yep. Obviously, the summary of this does not do this chapter justice, so...
No. After this, I was like, "Damn, I'm gonna watch the show just so I can see this happen in action."
Uh-huh. And?
So like the first thing that really like bothered me.
Oh, okay.
The ore drum.
The
When
ore
it
drum?
Yep. It's when it starts, he immediately starts going like ba-dum, 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 and they're like doing it slowly. It's like the whole point of their drum in the show was just for show. It wasn't an ore drum.
Oh. So the
Yeah.
oars weren't
It was
following
more-
along with it?
No.
What the fuck?
It's just there to sound cool.
Oh, that's so dumb.
Yeah. Like it did sound like I remember watching it before, like thinking that this was a really cool part and the drums like it cool. But now that I know that it's supposed to be an ore drum, I'm like, oh, this is lame.
Yeah.
And the second part, they enter the rush, right? And then only one ship greets them, and they're all like, "Why is there only one ship?" And as it gets nearer, then Bronn sets off a fire arrow and it hits the ship, and then it blows up. That was the entire battle.
What the
That was it.
Okay, if I'm being real, that way is probably smarter.
Yeah.
But this way in the book is so much more cool and epic.
Like, it makes sense for their budget at season 2.
Yeah. They don't got a big ship budget. They can't do a big ship battle.
Nope.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, it was so disappointing. I was like,
Oh.
more.
Huh?
It is so short. I thought it was gonna be a little bit more
Yeah, this
Remember
could have
watching
been a
it.
really cool battle.
badass.
Yeah. Needs to be more like Pirates of the Caribbean. Awesome. Like ships spinning around and crashing into each other.
Mm-hmm. We're at Tyrion now.
Chapter 59.
Tyrion.
Tyrion.
This one was a really short chapter.
Hmm.
So Tyrion is watching the ships burn, and he finds it both like horrifying and like sickeningly beautiful. And they all hear the screams, and I feel like lots of the soldiers are kind of shook by what they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
Some of Stannis' forces are staggering on the beach, and Tyrion starts shouting orders to like kill them before they like gather their forces together.
They're not organized.
Yeah. And they're still like stunned from the fires. He orders for the trebuchets to be moved to start firing at the ships that aren't burning yet. But Joffrey is like, but Mummy said I can have the horse. And Tyrion's like, okay, do what you want to do, but hurry it up because they need it. And apparently, what Joffrey wants to do is to fling their traitors, who they've named the Antler Men, because he had antlers nailed to their heads. He wants to fling these guys at the ship.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Like, why? You're in a freaking one. This is a freaking war, like freaking battle. What are these bodies gonna do?
The point
Like,
of doing that sort of thing is to, like,
just for his own sadistic pleasure.
yeah, but the point of that in actual war would be to, like, discourage your enemy and, like, scare them.
But if they're being flung into waters, everyone's burning. No one's paying attention to these naked men. Or I mean, these antler men.
That's what I mean. It's, like, beyond the point anyway where it would be effective.
So now I think it's just for his own sick fantasies.
I agree. And he's
Yeah.
such a fucking child.
Yes. So a runner appears and informs Tyrion that there's a mass of Stannis soldiers, with a battering ram at the King's Gate. So he mounts his horse. It's been called a pony. Horse, and takes off to the King's Gate. And when they arrive, the gate is being slammed, and the wounded are all over the square. Tyrion calls for the leader and orders them to go out, like they're going to go out and fight these guys. And then the Hound steps forward, and he's like, no. Tyrion sees that the Hound is terrified and that it has shook the troops. He tries to, like, shame him into, like, doing it by, like, offering him, like, asking if he wants some milk, like a kid. But he doesn't care. He's not going to do it.
Because of all the fire out there.
Yeah. Like, he sees, like, Tyrion mentions, like, seeing, like, the whites of his eyes, and then, like, whoa. He is useless now. Like, he's a dead man walking.
Yeah.
So he decides to forget the Hound. And he's like, then I will lead them. He orders formation, and only about half of the men in the square listen to him. So he shames the rest by saying that he's half a man. What does that make the rest of you? So then everyone else starts to form up. Except for the Hound, obviously.
Yep.
He's adios. So he tries to inspire them with, like, what do you call it?
A speech?
When the leader, a speech where he's like, I'm not going to shout for Joffrey or Casterly Rock. I'm fighting for this city, and so should you. And so he spins his horse around, heads to the gate, while hoping that everyone was following him.
Mm-hmm.
And that is that chapter.
He says part of his speech is like saying, this is your city, these are your gates.
Mm-hmm. So your homes.
So he's not saying do it for Joffrey, he's saying do it for you.
Yeah.
Which I think is smart because these people do not love Joffrey.
No.
Especially after all the shit they've been through at King's Landing recently, like people starving and yeah, people are not happy with the monarchy.
Absolutely.
Chapter 60.
Tons.
Sansa.
So food is being served, and the queen is drinking wine cup after cup. There's like singers and dancers and like jugglers distracting them and stuff. Cersei's guard, Osney Kettleback, comes in here and then to update her on what's going on. He whispers what Sansa can still hear. So when he like first comes in this chapter to whisper to Cersei, He's informing her that the fleets are in battle, the archers are ashore, but the hounds, men, are killing them all. One of the ladies starts to weep. Cersei tells Sansa that tears are a lady's weapon. This is what she learned from her mother, while a man's weapon is the sword. And Cersei says that she would rather be in battle than waiting around pretending to like all of these other ladies.
Mm.
Sansa asks what will happen if the castle falls, and Cersei says that if Stannis gets to them first, she will yield and that the ladies will be spared because he's not the kind of guy to go around killing people, killing women like that. But if he does not get to them first and that soldiers get to them first, then everyone will be in for a bit of a rape.
A bit of a rape.
Yeah. Sansa is like shook. This is not something that she had anticipated at all.
Mm-hmm.
Cersei says that if it were anyone else fighting them, that she'd seduce them. But Stannis is not the kind of man to be seduced.
Nope.
Cersei says that tears are not the only weapon that a woman has. There's one between their legs. And the entire time Sansa's like doesn't know what to say.
And Cersei tells Sansa that she needs to learn to start using it.
Yeah.
I was like, what? She's 12!
She's just a baby.
Like, good God, man.
Osney Kettleback and his brother Osfred both come in to whisper to Cersei. Osney tells Cersei that the ships are burning and Joffrey is still safe. And Osfred tells Cersei that 3 servants were caught trying to steal horses and they had taken some gold or jewelry. I think.
Did they? I thought they were just stealing the horses. Trying to get out.
Yeah, I thought they took some shit
I
and
don't
then
remember.
tried to steal the king's horses.
I thought they were
That's
just
just-
trying to escape.
Maybe they were just trying to escape. I don't know. I thought they had taken something. Maybe my brain's making it up. I don't know.
I feel like I can't think anymore after that Davos chapter and trying to figure out. Oh, God. Wait, let me see if I can find it now.
Okay.
The boys caught a groom and 2 maidservants trying to sneak out a postern with 3 of the king's horses. That's it.
Okay, so they were just trying to get the hell out.
Yeah.
Okay. Cersei orders their heads put on pikes to warn the other servants. She then teaches Sansa that you have to keep the people lawyer.
Lawyer.
Cersei teaches Sansa that in order to keep the people loyal, that they must fear you more than they fear the enemy, which is horrible.
Yep.
Sansa doesn't believe that. She doesn't say anything. She remembers her roots and her father, how he inspired his servants with love.
And Sansa thinks that if she becomes queen, that she'll make her people love her. And that immediately reminded me of Dany.
Yeah,
Dany is kind of the same way.
she is.
She wants to be loved.
Osfred comes back to inform Cersei that a group of merchants are asking to take refuge in the castle. Cersei orders Osfred to tell them to go back to their homes and if they need convincing to start shooting at them. Yeah. Cersei's drunk. She's slurring her words. She starts telling Sansa about how when she and Jaime were kids, they were so alike that their father couldn't tell them apart. She didn't know they were different until Jaime was taught to fight with the sword, while she had to learn how to smile and please.
Mm-hmm.
Going on these rants. Osney comes back again with news that Stannis' men are landing and the Mud Gate is under attack, and that they've got a ram to the King's Gate.
Oh,
and
shit.
The imp is leading the fight now at the King's Gate. Cersei orders Osney to bring Joffrey back to the castle at once. A singer starts singing like a sad song, and it brings tears to Sansa's eyes. Cersei says that she will need these for King Stannis. Sansa's like, what? Because she just called him King Stannis. And Cersei says that if their troops are so desperate they need a dwarf to lead them, they must be losing.
Ooh.
Cersei then says that she knows of Sansa's treasons in the Gods' Wood. Sansa insists that she's praying, but Cersei's like, for Stannis or your bro. Sansa says that she prays for Joffrey, and Cersei's like, as if. Cersei then forces Sansa to drink an entire glass of wine, and then she says she lied about Sir Ilan Payne. He's actually there to kill them all if the castle is taken.
Yikes. What happened to yielding to Stannis?
Right? It's just there to make her, I guess she's trying to make her feel good or safe.
I don't know, man. Because at one moment she's like, if Stannis is here, then I'll yield. Next minute she's like, if the castle's taken, we're all getting killed by Sir Ilan
Or
here.
it's more like talk if we're taken, but now she believes that they're taken. So she's like, by the way, he's here to kill us.
Yeah. Sansa's like, I didn't sign up for this shit! Poor girl.
Yeah.
She's just being dragged around. Can't do anything.
Yep.
Yuppers. Alright, this episode's been going on way too long.
We only went on so long because we spent a lot of time
Looking at maps of King's Landing.
the duck. Thank you.
And figuring out whether they're in the bay or the river. That's it. Any final thoughts?
Is King's Landing taken? Does Tyrion make it? Who knows? The next chapter is a Tyrion chapter.
That's interesting.
Whoop, whoop.
Cool. See how it goes with him leading the charge out of the gate.
Hell yeah.
Alright, that's it for this episode. If you want more of the podcast, please follow us on Instagram. You can follow the podcast at Tigbab Podcast, or you can follow us separately. My handle is Crimby, Jess's is just.egan24. You can also find us on Facebook. Just search Tigbab Podcast or Tea is Good, Books Are Better, and we should pop up there. Also, please subscribe to our good friend Baram Barami on YouTube. He's the one who made our jingle that you heard at the start of this episode. And he's really dope and makes cool stuff, so give him a like and a subscribe. Also, you can check out our Patreon, patreon.com/teaisgoodbooksarebetter. We have a few different tiers on there with fun rewards, so if you contribute, you will get something in return. You will also be helping us out immensely, and we'd be very appreciative, but we also just appreciate you listening. And please don't forget to share the podcast with your family and your friends. We will see you next time with some more Tyrion.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening. Bye. Wow. Nice. Oh, God.